Cute, sexy, and fun. You are watching CSF Nation's own WMK TV, Channel 90.
Welcome to Machini Jaws presents Peak Gaming. Machini Jaws presents Peak Gaming. Press start whenever you're ready. Marketing Jaws presents Peak Gaming. Press start whenever you're ready.
Targeting the drone first. They're getting smarter. You're definitely not ordinary.
Marketing Jaws presents Peak Gaming. Press start whenever you're ready.
Alright, there we are. Okay, we are here. Let me go ahead and get the music going. Let's get the music going. Let's get the music going. Audio should be... There we go. Okay, there we go. Alright. Alright, there we go. So everything's set. Mic is, let's adjust the mic real quick. Make sure my mic settings are on point. Where's my mics? Where's my mic? Where is my microphone? Okay, microphone, check. 100%. I like the sound of that. I do like the sound of that. Okay, so we're good. Looks like we are good to go. Good morning. Game on. My name is Machni, 90 Arts German Illustrator. Welcome to a spin-off of Peak Gaming called Peak Gaming News Roundup. This is something I wanted to try out and see with you guys. If you guys would be interested in something more like this kind of format and all that good stuff. I was talking about this earlier this week, in fact, about spinning this off. And this, what it is that this is a follow-up to what we had on Machni Live, with that talk we had on Machni Live about making a more, going back to being more balanced in terms of, the streams and such like that, in terms of the topics and such. So I figured it would be interesting if we could try out a Peak Gaming episode dedicated to just focusing on covering the gaming news segments for this week. Now, I would like to get some feedback from you guys. That's why I put a poll up asking, you know, would you guys like to have this news roundup be a separate segment from the standard Peak Gaming, or would you like to have it, you know, come back, keep it back into the main Peak Gaming segments, or not have it anymore at all? So, but anyway, we got about 4 topics. I got about 4 topics to go over. Of course, obviously the biggest one being the Saudi Arabia's $55 billion acquisition of Electronic Arts, and my personal thoughts about this as well. We also got some Ubisoft news, we have some Xbox news, and then we also have news of, well, the Sweet Baby Inc. curse striking once again. It's going to be very interesting to go into all this week, so all of these topics as well. So anyway, you got 4 people watching. I know more people will trickle in. I'll probably have some gaming. I haven't decided on what I'm going to play. In the meantime, as we cover these topics, I'll probably just go easy, do some gacha stuff, maybe do some dailies in Zenless or Snowbreak or Nike, and then as we go through these topics, and then, you know, once we're probably all done, then we can probably do some Stellar Blade or stuff like that. So, we'll see. The reason I'm doing a Thursday morning show, by the way, is because today I'm actually supposed to be summoned for jury duty, and when I called, apparently I'm supposed to call back at like 11:30 or noonish, so I got the entire morning to myself, so I figured we could probably go for about 2.5, maybe 3 hours, just covering the news segments and provide my thoughts and keep you guys informed on what's been going on in the world of gaming, and especially in the world of Peak Gaming. So anyway, we got about 4 people watching, so if you guys can do me a favor, I would greatly appreciate it. You guys know exactly what to do.
Thank you for venturing into our world. If you would like to see more, please press the like button and press the subscribe button. We appreciate all of your support. Thank you, and let's journey into the world of Peak Gaming.
That's right, smack that like button, make it jiggle, smack that subscribe button, make it jiggle as well. We appreciate all the support. By the way, if you guys noticed, we added the new transition. We have new transitions for Peak Gaming, and we also have new alerts. For Peak Gaming shows, for the Peak Gaming streams as well. So it'll be very, very, very interesting to see how the alerts will go off on today. If there's a super chat or a subscription, all set up. Kind of like a new and improved, you know, kind of like a new and improved segment. Anyway, let's go say hi to everybody in the chat, and then I'm gonna go boot up the first game as we go through these topics. We're gonna switch over to dual screen. I'm thinking, maybe let's do, I got some demos we gotta try out too. Let's do Snowbreak. We'll do Snowbreak. We'll just kind of get started off on that. Start off on a more chill tone as we get things going. All right. First off, Power. Good morning to you. Hope you're doing well. Of course, I made the post, guys. Check the poll. I would like your thoughts on this new spin-off to a news segment where I can just focus on covering the gaming news and such like that. And it's very interesting with the choices. See how people react. So I think more people are gonna start. We'll really start seeing how this goes as it goes along. So, and Emerald, good morning to you. Okay, so we're gonna start. I think we'll start with. I think we're going to start with a more light. I guess we're going to start with on the lighter tone. And I think we're going to save the main topic for later. Now, let's dive into Ubisoft first. One of our favorite punching bags is Ubisoft. Especially on this channel. My favorite punching bag is Ubisoft. And I actually saw this news article while I was at work.
With a legend like me by your side,
oh, there we go.
You must feel pretty honored.
Alright, I'm gonna have to turn the game audio down a bit. Okay, let's go ahead and switch over to the news segment. Oh, now, this one I saw in the news. I saw this at work yesterday. And I thought this was interesting. I thought this was a pretty interesting.
Can't go on a mission when I'm dressed like this.
Uh-oh. Let me turn the audio down just a little bit.
I'll show them.
One second. Okay, so this is something I found very interesting. And I thought it'd be something just be kind of like a good way to kind of like a good warm-up, a good appetizer, I guess you could say. So, this is coming from Video Games Chronicle. Go ahead and check those guys out. Ubisoft's Tencent-backed subsidiary starts operation today, known as Vantage Studios. The new entity will have full creative business control over Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Rainbow Six series. Now, for those that don't know, Ubisoft did sell themselves to Tencent a while back. It was around the time before. It was at around the time during Tencent's acquisition of the publisher, and of course before the launch of Assassin's Creed Shadows. Ubisoft is in. We've been covering the lot of the trouble that's been going on with Ubisoft over for a good part of the year and even into last year, especially with Assassin's Creed Shadows. Now, with everything kind of set in motion, now Tencent is planning their full-on takeover.
Once the bow is drawn,
VGC understands that Ubisoft informed staff on Wednesday that the new subsidiary will be called Vantage Studios and has to work under the leadership of co-CEOs Christine Daenerys, Dirinis and Charlie Guillemot. Charlie Guillemot is the son, if I'm correct, he is the son of Yves Guillemot, the CEO of Ubisoft. The name Vantage Studios have been chosen by employees via note having previously gone by codename Nova, and that includes Ubisoft's Montreal, Quebec, Sherbrooke, Saguari, Barcelona, and Sofia studios. For those who don't know, Ubisoft has multiple studios under its belt doing multiple different projects. Montreal, if I'm correct, that is the team behind AC Shadows. If I'm correct, Montreal and Quebec are the main teams behind AC Shadows. Of course, this also includes teams involving, with the Rainbow Six series and such like that. So, this new Vantage studio, I assume, is going to have a lot more control from Tencent. A lot more control from Tencent in that regard. Let me know if the audio is too long, too much. The new subsidiary will oversee Ubisoft's three biggest IPs: Assassin's Creed, Far Cry, and Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six series. Sorry. While it would remain a part of the Ubisoft group, it will have full autonomy on each franchise creative direction and business plan, which that is going to be very interesting about the whole creative direction and business plan regarding this, because Ubisoft being heavy live service, heavy microtransaction focus, and basically most of their games being live service and even always online to an extent. One thing that I find interesting about, I'm assuming that this is Tencent taking more control of Ubisoft's three biggest IPs and turning them into much more profitable entities moving forward, and especially with the assignment of this new studio. With Ubisoft, with Assassin's Creed, Rainbow Six, and Far Cry, they've been on the lackluster side from what I've been hearing, especially with Far Cry, and especially with the whole controversy surrounding AC Shadows. So it'll be interesting to see the next Assassin's Creed, the next mainline Assassin's Creed, done by an Eastern, maybe done with a more Eastern direction. That'll definitely be interesting, because the next title is supposed to be Hex, if I'm correct. Hex is supposed to be the next title, along with not just Hex, but they have a whole AC-like universe that they're going to be throwing out, especially with kind of having its own ecosystem and such like that. Actually, they probably have multiple AC games in the pipeline. I think people are definitely missing the days when Assassin's Creed was much more unique, I guess you could say, much more unique, and they're not throwing every game out like every single year, almost like if it was a sports title, or every 2 years or so. You know what I mean? Let me hold on a second. Let me switch over to live chat, because I'm not seeing what's going on in message here. Come on, guys. Come on, YouTube. Okay. Wanted by Rise Republic. It is live service. Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing, is Ubisoft has such a heavy emphasis on live service, and because this is Tencent, and Tencent are all about the monetization. And Tencent is one of the biggest corporations in the world, so interesting to kind of see how this turns out, basically. Tencent holds a 25% subsidiary stake in the new subsidiary, and will act as an advisory in an advisory role, Ubisoft told staff, with final creative business decisions resting with Guillemot and Darinas. Ubisoft told its staff that it was shifting towards a less centralized operating model in an attempt to give creative teams more ownership of the brands that they're working on. I think you missed a typo there. I think it's supposed to be creative teams. It's claimed that the new structure is based on the idea of creative houses, where teams will greater control over their franchises and will be able to respond faster to player expectations. Ubisoft announced that the then subsidiary Vantage, which is partially owned by Tencent after a £1.16 billion investment earlier this year. During its initial announcement, it is said the new subsidiary backed by Tencent's investment will drive further increases in quality of the narrative solo experiences and expand multiplayer offerings with increased frequency of content release, introducing free-to-play touchpoints and integrate more social features. So what this sounds like is that they're going to push even further into the, online-only live service model that they've been sticking with for quite a while. I think any offline, in my opinion, I think chances of an offline single-player Ubisoft title are likely going to be few and far between, especially with Tencent having that much stake and being more into the ownership side of the company. The new subsidiary would be teams developing Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six, Assassin's Creed, and Far Cry franchises based in Montreal, Quebec, Sherbrooke, Saguenay, Barcelona, and Sofia, as well as the back catalog of any new games currently under development it added. Co-CEO of the new venture, Charlie Guillemot, previously led Ubisoft-owned Outlet, leading to the co-found Web3 web indie firm Unagi and rejoining Ubisoft earlier this year. He's joined by 35-year company veteran Christophe Derenis, who is the former head of successful Montreal studio and managing director for Ubisoft North America. And that is the end of the article from Video Games Chronicle. Thank you so much with that. Now, like I said, from my personal standpoint, I think Ubisoft, I think after AC Shadows, I think I'm not touching another Ubisoft game for a while. Like, I think the one game that I think the one studio that I have some hope for, or the one studio that I still have a modicum of respect for and appreciation for, is Ubisoft Ivory Tower with the Crew Motorfest and the Crew series. Now, for those who don't know, the Crew is back. The first Crew is back after being unceremoniously shut down with the Crew Unlimited, which is a fan-made project where you can play the original first Crew offline, and they're planning to integrate servers in the future. I still think, in my humble opinion, that Ivory Tower is Ubisoft Ivory Tower is probably one of the better studios under Ubisoft's umbrella. So here's hoping that, but it's going to be interesting because there's going to be a lot of how much you want to bet there's going to be a lot of Eastern influence with how much do you want to bet there's going to be a lot of Eastern influence in regards to specifically the Vantage studio? How much of it you guys want to bet? And with Ubisoft, I feel like they're gonna have a lot of good graces. They're gonna have to get into a lot of good graces of gamers and customers if they want to stay afloat. In my 100%, in my opinion, I think they lost a lot of trust with me, especially with the whole drama regarding Assassin's Creed Shadows. You guys may feel different. I understand you guys may feel different on that matter. But it'll be interesting to see if this is going to be a new direction for this publisher, for the entire company in general, or is this going to be more the same? I'm leaning towards a little more of the same, with Vantage kind of being like this. I could see Vantage really being this top premier studio for Ubisoft and having a lot more creative direction and having a lot more of that Tencent influence. So there's going to be a lot more of that Eastern sensibilities under Tencent, within the Tencent 25% sharehold, 25% stake in the company. So it'll be interesting. The next Assassin's Creed game is supposed to be Hacks, and I think it's supposed to be based on like the Salem witch trials and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting if they keep the identity. We'll see if Tencent will have any stake on say the identity politics driven side of Ubisoft. I think we can. That'll be very interesting to say the least. Alright, let's go to the comments and we'll go into the next topic. Emerald says, I wanted to try Robert's Republic, but it is live service crap. Sean is in the chat. Good morning to you, Sean. They need an AC game with a midget. How would that work, man? How would that work? What time period would you set that in? AC game with a midget, dude. What the fuck? What time period would you set that in? I'm just very curious about that. Them going annual was a mistake. Hey, especially these days where they haven't learned from 2014 with Unity and Rogue. Though Rogue was decent but wasted potential. And also keep in mind that 2017 is when they really went into the full live service angle across all of their titles. Because, the monetization route is very, very lucrative these days. I keep seeing that companies are killing franchises that went to hell for years. It'll be gotcha slop, but it will be some of an improvement. I can see that. I can see that. I can totally see that it would be a general improvement. A little improvement in my humble opinion. But we also have, I completely forgot, we also have the Black Flag remake. The Black Flag remaster that I think they're planning to do as well. So, we know Black Flag is definitely one of the most beloved. Black Flag is one of the more beloved of Ubisoft IPs, basically. Black Flag is definitely one of the more beloved Ubisoft IPs they have in their state. They had in Assassin's Creed history too. So, and they tried to do their own version of Black Flag without the Assassin's Creed aspect with Skull and Bones. Their first quadruple A. Their first ever quote-unquote quadruple A live service title. I wonder if Tencent... It does make me wonder if Tencent are gonna put up with this whole, them Ubisoft, Yves Guillemot family wanting to make more quote-unquote quadruple A titles. Which turns out to be absolute failures in the end. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. It's interesting to say the least. It is very, very interesting to say the least. Oh, okay. Alright, so we ready for the next topic? I think we are ready for the next topic. So that was Ubisoft. So let's go into Xbox. Xbox. I mean, before we begin, how many videos have I made on Xbox at this point? I'm very curious. How many? I'm thinking I've probably made a bunch of videos talking about the state of Xbox and all their controversies and hooplas, and I think more and more my feelings towards the studio still stands. They don't care about being an actual competitor in the video game market at this point. I think they stopped caring a long time ago. Now they're just doing whatever they can to basically just ruin whatever goodwill that players had. And believe me, they gained a lot of goodwill with the whole Gamepass subscription. Which the Gamepass subscription, which I also said the Gamepass subscription was a mistake because pushing everything over to a subscription-based model was I think, a bad idea, and I think it's going to hurt them in the long run, especially when now you have to go into price increases and such like that. Especially when you do have to go into price increases and such like that. And with this story, we're seeing just that with the price increases. Now, before we also move on, I also want to say that Xbox has been in free fall. I want to say Xbox has been in free fall since 2013, since the Xbox One launch. That was such a big disaster for them that I don't think they have been able to fully recover from. This, what they've been doing, especially with the price increases of the Xbox One X, their newer console, the Xbox One X, and these Game Pass price increases, isn't helping them either. Not only that, not only that, people also bring up the fact that their Xbox titles are now going to PlayStation. Forza is now on PlayStation. Gears of War is now on PlayStation. Soon enough, Halo will be on PlayStation as well. Multi-platform releases. So it made the point of getting an Xbox Series X completely pointless. And I think what's been going on with Xbox is just a microcosm of what this generation has been, what this generation of gaming has been. And this generation has been terrible. Let's be honest, it's not been terrible. This generation has been unsurprisingly weak. It has been weak as hell. It has been absolutely weak. I would argue this is probably the weakest console generation we've seen in quite a long time. In my humble opinion, I think this is the weakest console generation we've seen in a long time. As it feels like there really is. It feels like the only competition is Sony because, Nintendo is continuously to do their own thing. You know what I mean? Nintendo is continuously doing their own thing. And I think Xbox has just given up. I think Xbox has completely given up. And by the way, I am playing Snowbreak. Good morning, Riot Kitty. So anyway, this is also coming from Video Games Chronicle. By Jordan Midler. Go ahead and check them out. Xbox Game Pass Premium members will now get Xbox games within a year, except for Call of Duty. Microsoft announced sweeping changes to Game Pass this week. Xbox Game Pass Premium members will now get new Xbox games within a year of release, except for the Call of Duty titles. On Wednesday, Microsoft announced sweeping changes to its Xbox Game Pass offering, including a price increase at its highest tier, by the way. The price increase has been upped to, if you're a Game Pass member, the price increase has been up to, if I'm correct, 30 to, I think it's like 30 to 45. Let me check that. Let me double check that. No, that's pretty. So it has been up to at least, I think, the third. Oh, here we go. Here we go. Let me open this up real quick. So Game Pass has been upped all across the board, basically. If you're Essential, you get $9.99 per month, which includes 50 games, 50 upcoming games. Premium is $14.99 per month, and Ultimate is now $30 a month. So they're really upping the price. However, on Wednesday, Microsoft announced sweeping changes to its Xbox game platform, including a price increase at its highest tier, Xbox Game Pass Ultimate. The middle tier, formerly known as Game Pass Standard but now is known as Game Pass Premium, offers players access to new Xbox published games within a year of the game's launch. However, Microsoft has pointed out that it doesn't include the Call of Duty titles, which appear to be all other games appear to be valid. While this doesn't suggest that Call of Duty titles will never come to the premium tier, it does mean that premium players should expect to wait longer to play Microsoft's premier franchise, most likely after the next annual iteration is released. And it's kind of a shame. It is kind of a shame that Microsoft. It is a shame that Microsoft is just. Microsoft is just giving up. Like I said, I think Microsoft has given up. But not only that, I just think Microsoft has not even bothered to get involved within the console race, within the console market too. They don't have a flat... Let's be honest here. Does Xbox have a true... I mean, aside from Call of Duty, which has always been multi-platform, does Xbox truly have a flagship IP? Halo has been effed over, and of course with how we saw with Halo Studios... with Halo Studios is one thing. Forza, you know... Forza used to be their kind of one of their one series that they always can fall back on, but even then the Xbox, especially with all those layoffs that we covered, all those layoffs that we covered last a couple months ago, those 400 plus layoffs, that doesn't help. And the last thing I think I want to bring in, the last part about this is, what about in terms of, say, well, Xbox Forza, Gears of War is now multi-platform with the Gears of War Remastered. The first game is now on PS5. What other do they have any dormant IPs that they could fall back on? But no, even then, they would have to drop that off. Like, remember, one of the studios that shut down was the Coalition with their Perfect Dark, Jomana Dark remake. Which turns out that Perfect Dark, but by the way, if you guys don't know, the Perfect Dark remake, that was the Perfect Dark remake actually was just a vertical slice where 90% of the demo that they showed off last year at Xbox Game Showcase was fake. It was fake. Okay, 90% of that demo was just basically a fake vertical slice. And they had nothing really strong to show for. So again, like, what does Xbox really have? And furthermore, do they even care? You know? Games like High on Life 2, Ninja Gaiden 4, Keeper, The Outer Worlds 2. Oh god, The Outer Worlds 2 is gonna be... The Outer Worlds 2. I don't think The Outer Worlds 2 is gonna be as a big of a hit as they want it to be. Honestly, I think there's a lot more against The Outer Worlds 2 and Obsidian as a whole, because I don't know what the hell Obsidian is doing. I just don't know what the hell Obsidian is doing. And to think that Microsoft can really hitch their wagon on thinking that Obsidian can produce something on the level of like a Fallout New Vegas. Yeah, I don't think so. Like the Outer Worlds 2 has been under plenty of scrutiny lately. And also, let's not forget the amount of studios they have under their belt with Activision Blizzard, Bethesda, acquiring all of these studios and having nothing to show for. Okay, anyway, sorry, I'm going off on a tangent. While this does suggest Xbox Games Pass premium subscribers will also get unlimited cloud gaming in-game benefits, online console multiplayer, and the ability to play and earn up to $50 a year in rewards. Call of Duty titles, including this year's Black Ops 7, will launch day one on Game Pass Ultimate. Following today's news, Game Pass Ultimate will now cost $29.99, $22.99 pounds, but we'll be getting new additions as Fortnite Crew and the Ubisoft Classic Collection. So basically, if you play Fortnite on Game Pass Ultimate, you'll be getting the whole shebang each season. You'll get the Battle Pass and all that stuff that comes with the Fortnite Crew stuff. And you'll get the entire Ubisoft Classic Collection for Ultimate for $30 a month. they killed a lot of series. they did kill a lot of series, let's be honest here. Today's news comes amidst a widespread price increase across gaming in both physical hardware and digital offerings. Xbox console has been seeing a slew of price increases in recent months, and the latest coming last week, and the firm announced that it would once again increase prices in the US. And just remember, Microsoft, Xbox have been under scrutiny for it, by the way. So I'm gonna go on Twitter real quick. I'm gonna show you guys. I'm gonna show you guys real quick. Heck, I'm gonna show you guys real quick what I'm talking about. Because so if you look at Xbox, because everybody's been memeing on this, and I saw all this yesterday. Xbox going great so far. Raised the game prices to $80. Nobody pre-orders. Raised the Game Pass up by 50%. Everybody cancels their subscription. Yeah, a lot of people are canceling their subscription. There's Zach, ma'am. Yep. $800 console, $1,000 handheld, $360 a year to rent games. Game Pass is the best deal in gaming. I think we all can agree that, yeah, Ubisoft are just, and not Ubisoft, but Xbox, in all, Xbox is, I think we can safely say that Xbox really is a clown. Ow! Ow. Xbox is a clown show. You know, Xbox is definitely a clown show. This one's come from Nora. This is a good one. Xbox back then. The best multiplayer experience on console. Great leading AAA IPs. Great marketing, aggressive competitor, and they were innovative. Yes, they were. Especially in the 360 era, they were innovative. Xbox Now. Price hikes. Multi-platform kumbaya. Confusing messaging. Awful and broken games. Game Pass and cloud service. Yeah. Yeah, pretty much. Like... Listen, I'm gonna take a quick moment because I get to come to chat or something. Listen. Hey, listen. To Bethesda. And here's the thing I love, okay? Here's the thing I love. Starfield. Starfield was supposed to be their, killer IP. Starfield was supposed to be their big AAA, Bethesda's return to form, basically. And it turned to be nothing but an absolute disaster. And I applaud the people who are still believing that Starfield is going to have their Cyberpunk 2077 / No Man's Sky like comeback with the next DLC expansion. Understanding the fact that Shattered Space was a complete disaster. I appreciate I appreciate Bethesda fans still, having hope that Starfield will have that Cyberpunk level of a comeback, but it's just copium at this point. I just, from what I've been seeing with the videos on Starfield, I'm just like, it's just copium, guys. It's just copium, man. You guys want that No Man's Sky level comeback. Starfield ain't it. That was supposed to be your big AAA IP, and you dropped the ball on it. You guys really dropped the ball on it. Todd Howard really dropped the ball on that one. Because it's like, it was a case where not even at a time being, there was a case where not even modders wanted to even touch Starfield. That's just, it wasn't worth it. Now, there have been plenty of I guess there have been big mods going on with Starfield, especially with a more Star Wars-like, a Star Wars-like reskin for Starfield, but even then, it's just, I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. But this is the state of Xbox. This is the state of Xbox. Nothing but canceled. There have been nothing but canceled titles, by the way. You're seeing canceled titles. You're seeing lackluster titles. And you have all of these studios under your belt. You have all these big studios such as Bethesda and Activision Blizzard, but you're also canceling so many games too. You also have to cancel that. You're also canceling so many games. You're shutting down studios. Like, who would really want to work with who really would want to work under the Xbox ecosystem? I think it was so bad that even GameSpot took jabs at it, if I'm correct. I think it was GameStop. I think GameStop took a jab at Xbox as well. Yeah, Game Pass was like their ace in the hole, basically. Game Pass was their ace in the hole, man. And, well, let's be honest here. There was a lot of Xbox-focused titles with these faces, so thank you, Kyle, for that one. Starfield has such shitty-looking faces, by the way. Hey, Starfield just has such shitty-looking models. But yeah, GameStop, yeah, man, it's just... This meme is legendary. This meme is great. Game Pass, $29.99 every month. Own nothing. GameStop, buy once, own forever. Math isn't that hard. Oh, that's bad. Oh, that's just absolutely diabolical. Listen, there's a reason there's a bigger push for, you know, more physical releases, guys. Not everybody is going to be completely subscribed to this all-digital era. Let's be honest here. Not everybody is completely on board with this all-digital, you know, all-digital, you barely own your titles kind of ecosystem. Not everybody's going to be all on board with it. Not everybody's on board with it, you know? The eventual, what's Optimus? What is this? Oh! Okay. Why not? Okay. Not everybody is gonna be on board with the, you know, on board with the all-digital future where you really don't own your physical releases. Not everybody is, guys, and I think more people need to understand that too. But we'll see. I think a lot of people are gonna be more canceling their subscriptions to Game Pass. A lot of people are definitely gonna be canceling more of their subscriptions to Game Pass. So big shout out to, you know, big shout out to Wario64 for even pointing this out too. Yeah, this is getting crazy. It's getting crazy. So I don't know if Xbox they just don't care anymore. I just don't think they care anymore. I just don't think they care anymore, in my humble opinion. Oh my god. Yep, made game ownership great again. Yeah, I agree. I warned people, I warned people not to celebrate Microsoft buying ABK. I told them the track record of not buying companies and then closing or ruining them. I also told them it's not just Microsoft companies buying each other, it's terrible for the customer, ending competition and concentrating marketing in few conglomerates. They called me a whiny, envious crybaby Sony boy, they mocked me, and I don't even own a PlayStation. That is savage. Okay, that is absolutely savage. Okay, let me do this real quick. I'm gonna switch over to the main game screen because I'm in the middle of a multiplayer session right now. So let me switch over to the main screen just for real quick, just for now. Okay, there we go. Oh shit. Oh shit. Oh yeah, I gotta do the... I was asked to join in a game. 1 second. Let's do this. I don't know how we're gonna do this though. Oh, we got 1 kill. No! No. We were playing this, we were playing this on Saturday. I'm playing this on Saturday, so we kind of get through this, but it's very interesting to see the more. EA with more money. Oh, we're gonna get to EA. We're gonna get to EA later. I think the next thing we're gonna cover is Do you guys want to jump into the EA article now, or would you like to do the Sweet Baby Inc. the Sweet Baby Inc. curse? Press 1 for EA, press 2 for Sweet Baby Inc. Guys, let me know. And smack that like button, make it jiggle. We'll probably switch out. I'll probably switch out games by the end of this. We'll probably switch out games by the end of this. No, this is I forgot what the multiplayer games is like a Fall Guys, basically, where if you die, you now have to become the enemy, and the first survivors and whoever wins, whichever side wins. Usually, survivors either if all survivors are defeated, or if the survivors last the end of this round, that they win. So. To get it over with. You want to get it over with, EA. Okay. Anybody else can object? Anybody else want to object to that? Anybody else want to object? Too, as far as we know, we enjoy our lolcows, spending our money laundering and That's funny. Why is everybody over here? Why is everybody over here? What the fuck? Where are they? Oh, did they jump that far? Oh my goodness. Oh, they're high up, aren't they? That's interesting. That's interesting. Survivors, how did you jump that high? How did homeboy jump that high? What the freak? I jumped that high, man. Damn. Yeah. You see that survivors. Anyway. Okay, you want to get it. You want to get it over with. I totally agree. I totally agree. Let's get it over with. All right. Okay, we're gonna start with the first article. We're gonna start with the first article, and then we're going to. We're going to start with the first article, and then we're going to get into the meltdowns. We're going to get into the meltdowns. I have a lot to say on this, by the way. I have a whole lot to say about this situation here, because this is going to be very interesting, to say the least. So, okay, let's go ahead. Let's go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and do main store. What were we saying main store for later? Let's switch out. Hang on, I'm gonna switch out. I'm gonna switch over to. We'll switch over to. We'll switch over to. I'm gonna switch over to a different game, and then in the meantime, we'll have. We'll focus on. I'll go ahead and read the EA acquisition. So. Let's do. We can do TXR. We can do Crossworlds. Let's do. You know what? Screw it. We'll do Inertial. We'll do Inertial. We'll do Inertial. Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to keep this as professional looking as possible. Anyway. So, this is coming from Ryan Pearson over at Bounty into Comics. Electronic Arts bought out by Saudi Arabia's public investment fund for $55 billion in largest company buyout ever. EA has announced that they are being bought out by investors, including the Saudi Arabian Public Investment Fund, PIF, SAPIF or SAPIF or PIF, and for an eye-watering $55 billion, the largest buyout of a company going private. It's gonna be very interesting. This is gonna be very interesting. One second, I got it. What is going on? 1 second, guys. and the largest company buyout. Approved by EA's board of directors per a press release, the investor consortium will acquire 100% of EA for approximately $55 billion and includes public investment fund PIF, the Saudi Arabian wealth fund, run by Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman Al Saud. I'm thinking of somebody different. I'm thinking of Mohammed bin Salman, who is the head of the FIA. That's what I'm thinking. He's the chairman of the FIA for Formula One. I'm probably thinking of somebody different. Okay, let me turn this down. Let's turn this down. Okay. According to the Financial Times, people are involved in the consortium also includes Silver Lake, which is an equity firm, and Affinity Partners, an investment fund. It should be noted that largest investor to the Affinity Partners is also PIF and was founded by Jared Kushner, who is the son-in-law of the current president of the United States, Donald Trump. According to the Financial Times, people are involved in the transaction. Kushner was the key to the deal being completed, according to the PIF. The press release touts the trio as having a deep sector experience and committed capital and global portfolios with networks across gaming, entertainment, and spin-offs that require unique possibilities for EA to blend their physical and digital experiences and enhance fan engagement and create new growth opportunities. It also has a noteworthy being the largest all-cash sponsor to take private investment in history. After the deal closes in quarter one of 27, EA will no longer be on the public market. EA stockholders will be getting $210 per share in cash, representing a 25% premium to EA's unaffected share price of $168.2 as of $168.32 as of September 25th. A premium to EA's unaffected all-time high of $179.01 on August 14th of this year. Furthermore, the consortium will be funding the transaction via an equity investment of approximately $36 billion. Equity of approximately $36 billion, along with a $20 billion in debt of financing by JP Morgan Chase, $18 billion at close. The company's headquarters will remain in Redwood City, so that is right over in my neck of the woods, by the way. Redwood City is much further south from where I live at in the Bay Area. And with CEO Andrew Wilson still at the helms. EA has been restructuring subsidiary Bioware, laying off 50% of its employees. Dragon Age: The Veilguard, EA Sports, FC25 underperforming, yet more layoffs at Bioware and EA as a whole. Nevertheless, EA's stock price was better than the same time the last year, even with the buyout news broke. Now, I'm just gonna take a quick moment as I'm gonna do as we doing this run. I want to take a quick moment to say that with EA, with Bioware, and we're going to get to Bioware, by the way. We are going to get to Bioware. We're going to get to Bioware and their recent sports titles. And I do have a lot to say on this matter personally, just from my experience with Electronic Arts and such like that. There is a major meltdown with Bioware, specifically Bioware. People are on social media saying, you know, Bioware needs to be picked up by another studio, that everybody at Bioware needs to leave now. And the reason is, because of, well, the massive failure that was Dragon Age: The Veilguard. Dragon Age: The Veilguard was a critical and commercial failure. You can't deny that issue. You can't deny that point. Now, this is the reason people are very, very terrified of Bioware, is because, well, Saudi Arabia, you know, a major investor, who's been a major big player in the world as well. And you guys know Middle Eastern culture is definitely not LGBTQ friendly, I guess you could say. They are definitely not LGBTQ friendly, and EA has Bioware under its belt, but they also have The Sims. Now, if you guys know, The Sims has definitely The Sims has a lot of LGBTQ content in there too, and people are worried that Saudi's acquisition of Bioware or EA would mean that they're going to tone down all of the LGBTQ plus content that is already in their games, and they're going to tone down the identity politics. And to that I say, one, we may not know that. One, we don't know that yet, because it's likely what Saudi wants is to just get more, to focus on what is actually profitable under the EA umbrella. And two, and we're going to go, and once we get into this Kotaku article, I'm going to explain even further, you brought this on yourself. I'm sorry. With Dragon Age the Veilguard, you brought this on yourself. Because one of the prominent writers of Dragon Age the Veilguard, if I'm correct, the one who blessed us with the non-binary dragonkin, Tosh, had an absolute meltdown over this. And all I can say is, you brought this on yourself. Because you couldn't because you, and I repeat, you couldn't help yourself. You don't know the meaning of the term moderation, on how that would actually negatively affect your freaking game, how would it negatively affect your studio. And let's be honest here, Bioware has been in freefall before Dragon Age the Veilguard. Remember, Mass Effect Andromeda, a disaster. Anthem was a disaster. Dragon Age the Veilguard, a complete disaster. I think Dragon Age the Veilguard, in my humble opinion, is the biggest controversial game under BioWare's umbrella, and I think it's the game that killed the studio, in my opinion. I'm sorry, you guys kind of brought this on yourself when you think about it. You guys kind of brought this on yourself. You guys have no one to blame but yourself, because you couldn't help yourself with it. You didn't know the power, understand moderation, to not force feed it, shove it down people's throats. And also keep this in mind, The Sims is a moneymaker for EA. The Sims is a moneymaker for EA, so I highly doubt the Saudis will be, I highly doubt the Saudis will want to eliminate any LGBTQ content from The Sims, since, The Sims is an actual moneymaker. Just saying. Like, we're gonna get into the Kotaku article later, but man, I got a lot to say on this. And you know what? I might turn this into a separate video. I might turn this into a peak gaming highlight later. I look forward to it. Anyway, PIF has been involved in gaming, becoming EA, Activision Blizzard, and Take-Two's largest shareholders in 2021. We've also seen the investing into Capcom and Nexon, the Embracer Group, for $2 billion, and they are going with Savvy Games, co-ownership of Evo. I cannot do this while I'm driving. Pokemon Go's Niantic, Savvy Games, and SNK. So what are the consortium plans for EA? And aforementioned sources out of Financial Times, are they going to be using AI to cut costs and significantly boost profits? Well, we'll have to see. We'll have to see. So, what are your thoughts, basically? Like, what are your thoughts on this whole EA acquisition? we're gonna do this on the EA acquisition. Before we move on to the Kotaku meltdown piece, that's what it comes down to, the Kotaku copium. I got some things to say about this. What is likely going to happen is that Saudi, their PIF is going to be more focused on what is actually making the most money at EA. And as we all know, what makes the most money at EA is their sports titles. Specifically, Madden and EA Sports FC, which is all used to be known as FIFA. They rake in millions of dollars a year through their annual sports titles because of stuff like Ultimate Team, because of their monetization, their heavy monetization. Apex Legends brought in money for them because it's a live service shooter. Now, best case scenario, I think best case scenario is EA will, that this might be a chance for EA to maybe kind of dial it back on the monetization live service, and, you know, maybe bring back some and maybe with under, you know, Saudi's kind of ownership, maybe bring back some dormant IPs. Maybe bring back some of those dormant IPs. Maybe get another Titanfall going, you know? Maybe get other dormant IPs that have been shelved for a long time under new studios. Maybe have that, you know? But at the same time, you know, I look at Bioware. I look at other studios under the umbrella. Specifically, what does this mean for the Need for Speed franchise? Now, for those who don't know, I am a long time fan of the Need for Speed franchise. Long-time fan of the Need for Speed franchise. It holds a special place in my heart. And we all know that the Need for Speed franchise has definitely been on an identity crisis, and they've been really not knowing what they want to be. It wasn't until things kind of settled down with, with the Ghost era, what I like to refer to as Ghost era, and that starts from Rivals, 2015, Payback, and Heat, and then what I was going to call the Neo Criterion era with Unbound, that they kind of seem to kind of get their head on straight. The one thing that I appreciated about Unbound is that they actually kept support for that game going for at least 2 years or so. The game came out in 2022, and it was already, there was support up until 2024. So about 2 years worth of support, which is way more than Heat got. And for all intents and purposes, I thought Unbound was not bad at all. I thought Unbound was pretty solid in its own right. Now, me personally, I think Unbound is also the, how do I describe it? Unbound, to me, is the textbook definition of how can we insert identity politics to a racing game. Because, well, let's be honest here, Unbound is woke as hell. The story for Unbound is so identity politics driven. Bro, it is cringe as F. It is so freaking cringe. Oh, it is so like Gen Z, like Zoomer cringe shit, man. It's bad. It's cringe. It's woke. It's serious identity politics. Like the character models being very androgynous for one thing. Just having a absolute shitty like antagonist like Yaz, which is absolutely terrible. Just kind of the way the story structure is, the fact that, you know, the fact that they had to do so many diverse, the fact that your rivals are basically, let's check every single diverse checkbox here. They were taking, there were points where it was like, they were taking cues from like Spider-Man, Miles Morales, and I do like the Miles Morales spinoff, by the way. It's just, you put those aside, you take those aside, and you actually have a solid, you have a solid ground for a Need for Speed title, for almost like a continuation of Heat. I think on the game as a whole, I really enjoyed it, and I put about 200 hours into it, doing all the seasons and stuff. I had fun. I had a lot of fun with it, especially it helped that the Unite mods that Unite really brought it to another level. So I do have a soft spot for the Need for Speed series, although despite the fact that they've had some stinkers. In my humble opinion, regarding to how the series is gonna progress here, I'm not sure. I think that despite that Need for Speed having a strong community, it hasn't been the profitable IP that EA has tried to make it. Despite good fan support, despite good, fan outreach, and support, I don't see, it wasn't a profitable title under a profitable IP for EA. So my question, I'm wondering, I think what's probably going to happen is that the series is either going to remain dormant. They're probably going to shelve it, because remember, the Criterion team is now working on Battlefield 6. They had a support studio under Team Kaizen, kind of carrying the ball for picking up the ball for Unbound support, which I'm always grateful for them for it. But I think, honestly, the way they'll see it is that Need for Speed just is not that profitable IP that they desperately tried to make it. So they're probably either gonna just shelve it for now, or basically just end it off together. Maybe start fresh. Sometimes I was thinking about that, and I was like, maybe it's best for EA to just start a fresh IP, a fresh new racing IP, and just let Need for Speed rest. Let it rest. I hate saying it, let it die. Maybe to start fresh, Maybe not have so much baggage from, the NFF, from Need for Speed. And I love Need for Speed. There's not a single game. There's multiple games under each era that hold a very special place in my heart. For those who don't know, my top 5 Need for Speed games personally are Hot Pursuit 2, Most Wanted 2005, Carbon, Heat, and a 3-way tie between Hot Pursuit 2010, Pro Street, and Shift 2. It's just, it's sad to see. Rumor of an Underground remake, that's probably thrown out the window. People looked at the Underground remake as probably 2015. 2015 is like a true Underground 3 or something like that. But even then, it's like, I got love for Criterion, but they pried them away from. We don't have listen, the Criterion that we have now is not the same Criterion that gave us the Burnout series. Remember, Alex Ward and the three original members that created the Burnout franchise, they are running their own studio, Three Fields Entertainment, with Recreation. Now, from my personal standpoint, Recreation looks like to be a Burnout meets like a Trackmania as a sandbox, but I don't know. I'm not sold. I'm not sold with that one. Hence why I never really mentioned it in the indie racing games I'm looking forward to. I never mentioned Recreation just because it just doesn't feel like a spiritual successor to what I want out of a Burnout. I would like to see them take another crack at dangerous driving, which was supposed to be their kind of like Burnout 3 successor. Have it much more refined, have much more tighter, But, they do want to go this Trackmania sandbox route. More power to them. It's just not the sandbox Fortnite style. Those type of elements in those games are just simply not my thing, though, I guess you could say. It's just not my cup of tea, ultimately. Not that I'm saying that sandboxes are bad. It's just, I guess I like structure. I guess I like my games to have a bit more structure and a little less of a sandbox, you know? That's just me. So yeah, it's with Need for Speed, I think what's likely going to happen is they're probably just going to shelve it. It's likely going to either they're going to likely shelve it, or in a way let it rest. Maybe it's time to let the series rest. Maybe it's time to let the series die and move on. Maybe start with a new IP. Maybe start with a new racing IP, you know? And have a set, you know, have a set goal, have a set focus, and not be in this identity crisis that Need for Speed was in for the past, what, decade and a half? Since since Undercover in 2008. Let's start fresh. You know, I think maybe it's best to just let the past, you know, in the words of Kylo Ren, let the past die. Don't let the past die, you know? That's how I see it personally. Let Need for Speed rest. Start fresh with a new IP. Start completely fresh and have a set goal, have a set direction. You know? I think that would I think that would be the better the long way if EA wants to still have a hand in the console racing game market, you know? Sorry if I went on that long tangent, but yeah, Need for Speed is a very important IP to me under the EA umbrella. Need for Speed is the one I spent the most time under. Out of all the EA IPs, Need for Speed is the one that I cared about the most. So, and for I think as much as they got their act together, there was a lot of baggage. You can't deny the amount of baggage that the franchise have had since, you know, how much they screwed the pooch with Undercover, how much Black Box screwed the pooch with Undercover, and the identity crisis that they've been in, not knowing what does the franchise want to be. Does it want to be a true underground, continue what was, you know, what was laid by the Underground franchise? Or does it want to go back to the classic? Does it want to be more of the classic era? Does it want to be more of a Gran Turismo competitor? What does Need for Speed want to be? It tries to please. The problem with Need for Speed was that it tried to please everyone. And in a way, they ended up kind of angering more people than they tried to please. I'm sorry if I'm going off. I am going off on a complete tangent. My bad. I am so sorry. It's just, that's how much it means to me, okay? It is, but it's going to be interesting. What's going to be the future for, say, Apex Legends and the Titanfall franchise, you know? Because people want a third Titanfall. People have been asking for a third Titanfall, you know? And, you know, instead, you know, what we've has been, you know, Apex Legends, which is a multiplayer spinoff, a popular multiplayer spinoff, but what people want is a third Titanfall. Oh. What about the EA Originals? Because the EA Originals, which is their their indie titles, their more indie title EA batch has been critically acclaimed, but in terms of sales, we're not sure about that. But the biggest one that everybody is talking about is BioWare. This is coming from, I am gonna love this. We're gonna rip this, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna rip this to shreds. We are going to rip this apart. All right. So you know what? I'm not gonna be. I'm not gonna game. We're not gonna game for this segment. I want my full undivided attention on touching this crap. This is from Kotaku. I can't wait. So we're gonna switch over to the main. Switch over to the main Switch over to the main screen for this one. This is coming from Kotaku by Ethan Gatch. EA's Saudi deal fallout, junk credit ratings, risky AI bets, and developer feels. The sport game powerhouse promises no immediate changes as uncertainty mounts. Within 2 days of EA's announcement that it would sell to Saudi Arabia in private equity for $55 billion, as the dust settles, concerns continue to mount. Some inside the company are worried about the possible cuts, layoffs, and censorship coming down the road, and the logistics deal that don't do much to reassure them. Downgraded credit ratings, rumors of a ramped up AI initiatives. Let me go and turn the audio. Let me go ahead and turn the music down just a little bit here. Get some classic jungle right there. If you guys are not subscribed to Pizza Hotline, please do so. If you love drum and bass, subscribe to Pizza Hotline. Anyway. Earlier this week, Bloomberg reported, I assume that this was Bloomberg's, is it Bloomberg's Jason Schreier? Let me check. Let me double check here. Make sure this is the Jason Schreier here. Is it Jason? Is it Jason? Oh, it's not Ethan Steinberg, damn it. It's not Jason. Okay. S&P Global Ratings plan to lower EA's credit rating to junk status once the leveraged buyout deal is completed sometime next year. It's currently BBB Plus would fall into the non-investment grade or speculative territory that once saddled with the $20 billion loan required to pay off all Battlefield 6 publishers' existing shareholders at a 25% media premium. Moody's Ratings would announce it's planning a simple appraisal, and the more context we get around financing the deal, the worse it looks. JP Morgan has made the commitment, though, to its leveraged finance arm, though not its private credit strategy, and its biggest U.S. bank expected to share the risk with rival firms to create a global syndicate of underwriters, according to the people familiar with the deal. Bloomberg reported yesterday that the credit expected to be raised to a single B rate is set sold through the high-yield bonds and leveraged loans in the cross-border during dual currency transactions, said the people who asked for it not to be identified with discussing confidential details. Quote, smells like high interest rate debt. Now, the biggest one, here's the interest one here. Here's the interest one, ladies and gentlemen. Bioware on the chopping block. Some analysts who spoke to Kotaku have suggested that going private could free EA from the whims of a stock market based around quarterly earnings reports. But it could also be being saddled with a ton of debt completely reshapes the decades-old gaming company that we know. EA is in debt, by the way. They are in debt. EA has an infamous reputation of buying up acclaimed studios with big creative ambitions and eventually gutting them, which they fail to live up to their earnings potential with loot box machines fueling Madden and EA Sports FC. How many studios? How many studios were shut down by EA? How many studios were shut down by EA? So, around 14 studios were shut down by EA during this tenure. Westwood Studios, Command & Conquer, Bullfrog, Theme Park, Pandemic Studios, who made Star Wars Battlefront, Mythic Entertainment, Warhammer Online, Visceral Games, Dead Space. There's more. There's way more. Black Box, obviously, Need for Speed. Let's see. Visceral Games, EA Chicago, which was the team actually behind NBA Street, Black Box, of course, Need for Speed and Skate Series, EA Phenomic, known as a realignment strategy, Playfish, developer of social network games, DICE Canada, the Battlefield expansion packs for Battlefield series, Ridgeline Games. Yeah, they have about 14 studios that they've shut down. A lot. So yeah, you can know that they're in debt, basically. But yeah, their biggest moneymakers are basically Madden and EA Sports FC with their Ultimate Team. Respawn Entertainment has faced multiple rounds of layoffs and saw multiple projects canceled, including a prototype for a long-awaited return to the world of Titanfall. Bioware has suffered even worse. Following a tumultuous development cycle for Dragon Age the Veilguard due to shifting schedules and live service goals, the RPG powerhouse is back to being a one-game studio, Mass Effect, and a shell of its former self. Insider Gamer reports that EA was at one point looking to possibly sell off its $775 million acquisition from back in 2007. At least some developers there were just worried about the future under Saudi ownership. They told Insider Gaming it feels like only a matter of time before BioWare is downsized even further. Listen, okay. We're gonna get to this. Listen, look here. Mass Effect is not gonna save them. I don't think Mass Effect is gonna save them. I don't think Mass Effect is gonna save them. After what happened with Dragon Age the Veilguard, the Mass Effect is not gonna save them. For the studios that have been more of a track record, especially a track record that maybe doesn't line up with your own political views, where you're going to look at the studio and wonder how you make them fit into your new structure. Former BioWare project director Mark Dara said in a new YouTube video, quote, "It's hard to imagine that you will believe that BioWare pivoted from having very progressive messaging to having the reverse of what the government wants. It's hard to imagine that the public perception of the game that comes out of BioWare, even if you do that, it isn't apocalyptically bad." Now, to be fair, I was watching Kyle videos about this, and Neil was bringing up that they were kind of taking what Mark Darrell was saying out of context, because he was actually for having Dragon Age go back to appeasing the fans. You know, going back to appeasing the fan base, going back to, you know, appeasing the fan base, you know, making the fans happy instead of chasing trends, which shows that, you know, BioWare, or shows that EA, like many other companies, like many other corporations that we see, are basically just virtue signaling for profit. Basically, that's all it is. They're just basically virtue signaling for profit. They don't really care about the issues, and they don't really care about what they're virtue signaling for. It's all about profit. Just like Pride Month. Just like Pride Month. So, they were just going whatever made them the most money, and they thought that, you know, having your queerosexual gendermancer as your head of your game lead, and having the writing team that it had was going to be profitable. What it's like, no, the rot in BioWare does go deep, and the rot in EA goes even deeper. They don't care. Okay? To all the people who are crying about this, EA never cared about you. Okay? Oh, here we go. Pivoting away from human rights. In an FAQ directed at employees, only one of the pieces of communication EA has released since the deal was announced, the company claims, quote, "There will be no immediate changes at your job, team, or daily work as a result of this transaction, amid concerns about the abysmal human rights record of Saudi Arabia, where same-sex relationships are outlawed. EA has stopped short of reaffirming its long-standing commitment to inclusivity," which is all fake, "including asserting the trans right or human rights that some U.S. states pushed anti-LGBTQ legislation in 2022. Andrew Wilson, Quay said, Andrew Wilson basically said, "F you to all women LGBTQ employees at EA with this deal." One current EA employee told GameFile this week, "It just shows how many people have been collateral this past year for executives to make rich. Nothing feels great, and we know where the deal closes. It's going to get worse before it gets better, and if better is even possible." A separate employee, also speaking anonymously, reiterated those concerned to Kotaku. "Many members of our Pride employee working group are currently being very vocal about about our concerns for the future, they told me. We're worried about LGBTQ content will be deprioritized or cut entirely, and that LGBTQ and especially now trans employees will be on the chopping block, making few of us feel heard right now. Listen, let me say this again. Let me say this loud here to you guys. They don't care. Okay? They don't care. They never cared. It was all performative virtue signaling in the end. They never cared. Tell you guys, this is all virtue signaling just for money, man. There are concerns about the new ownership arrangement that will mean that EA's ongoing push around generative AI, a big part in the company's pitch at its 2024 Investor Day. At this time, CEO Andrew Wilson said AI was the very core of our business and not merely a buzzword, claiming that there were over 100 novel AI projects. The publisher was experimenting with how to improve how it made games. Those lofty promises have been re-emerged in the light of the Saudi deal. Banking over AI revolution that may never arrive, and people are very, 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 very hostile towards the AI and everything such too. So something to keep that in mind. Reporting on the sale this week, the Financial Times wrote, investors are betting that AI-based cost cut will significantly boost EA profits in the coming years. According to people involved in the transaction, it continued. The deal is a huge bet that artificial intelligence can significantly cut EA's operating costs and allow Equity Consortium to manage a large debt on a company load on a company that historically carried limited debt. Ooh, this is a long article. Some employees at Kotaku spoke with EA has continued beating the drum of AI over the last 12 months with varying degrees of urgency. While developers are encouraged to experiment with AI tools as much as they can, none reported being forced to implement them directly into their workflows. At the same time, AI is being incorporated into the customer service management, something that the company behind microtransaction-fueled sports franchises does a lot of. Where some players might be routed to humans for help with things like terms of service violations reviews in the past, their complaints may not be routed to the first AI agents instead. Their complaints may not spell check, guys. Who's the editor? Who is the editor, Ethan? Spell check may not be routed to the first AI agents instead. Oh, for fuck's sake. Spell check, guys. Come on. Editors, guys, edit your articles, please. Thank you. The Saudi deal is the second biggest gaming merger ever. The first is Microsoft's purchase of Activision Blizzard, facing a surprising and prolonged level of scrutiny among regulators in the US and abroad, including the entire lawsuit by the FTC. That was under the Biden administration, however, which antitrust enforcement priority for the federal government. Under pay-to-play and pay-to-win mechanics of the current Trump administration, oh, here we go. EA's sale to private equity and foreign government isn't expected. So many roadblocks, especially with the president's son-in-law, Jared Kushner, as one of the buyers. It goes back to TDS. It goes back to TDS. Doesn't it? It goes back to the TDS. Kushner has a relationship and deep ties with Saudi Arabia. He is very comfortable operating in the Middle East to create a basis of trust, one source told the Financial Times. We're in a regulatory environment that has welcoming of Saudi Arabia. We are not in what's the previous regime in another, and according to say, what regulators is going to say no to the president's son-in-law. Listen, you know what? Let's take a moment. I'm very curious here. I just want to take a little peek. I want to take a little peek into Bioware right now. I just want to take a little peek and see what people are talking about. You know, I'm just very curious. Mardara, yeah, of course, the whole thing with Mardara. At least Bioware know been below. Ow! Oh my god. I'm sorry. The camera got me. Hello, new employees. Today will be Patio. What is it? Who cares about you think you studio? Oh wow! Apocalyptic Gamepass review. This is very interesting. They're getting the apocalyptic backlash for having it. Bioware isn't even a thing anymore. Mass Effect is dead. Dragon Age is dead. What is it? Very post Star Wars, man. It's just the way I see it. Oh god. Yep. Oh boy. Oh boy, the memes write themselves. Oh boy. Post-apocalyptic backlash. From who? I'm very curious about that. Please, kiss. You know what? See, now I'm gonna have to read the article. Okay, let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's see. EA. Let's see. BioWare. Post-apocalyptic backlash. BioWare post-apocalyptic backlash says, the former BioWare developer, Mark Derrick, warned that the studio's potential acquisition by new owners would speak of post-apocalyptic backlash from fans. The controversy, which emerged in late September, is tied to the studio's past creative and management issues, especially with recent titles like Veilguard, and concerns that new ownership might come after the studio's creative direction. The controversy does not relate to post-apocalyptic backlash, but to the idea of a catastrophic fan backlash in the aftermath of the corporate acquisition. The situation is culmination of several ongoing issues with the studio. And yeah, there's a lot of issues with the studio, and I do think it's probably taking out what Mark is saying out of context, you know? There's been a lot, you know, BioWare Worlds, internal strife, disappointment with the Veilguard, decades of fan dissatisfaction. He's probably not wrong. He's not wrong, though. It's just... It's just... The way I see it is... Longtime BioWare fans have already, like, there was already backlash with Dragon Age the Veilguard. So... I don't know, man. I don't know. I really don't know. It's interesting. It is interesting to say the least. And I think for, in my opinion, I think for BioWare, I just don't think it's gonna. I just don't think what they're gonna do is gonna save the company in any way, shape, or form. They underwent massive layoffs. You know. Mass Effect, I guess their Mass Effect 4, people are worried. You know, and this is the team that gave us, you know, Jade Empire, Knights of the Old Republic, KOTOR, Jade Empire, first Mass Effect trilogy, Dragon Age Origins, Inquisition, the Dragon Age series, you know? The heads at BioWare are not there anymore. They're not there. You know, they went off to do their own separate studios and all that thing, you know? The glory days of BioWare are not coming back. It's just not coming back. So, from my opinion, I think what's best for BioWare is either have another studio buy them out, maybe either have another studio buy them out, so they could operate on their own thing, or maybe just shut down BioWare entirely. I just don't think, because I think that's what's eventually going to happen. I think is with, you know, it's BioWare in name only, and I think that the next Mass Effect, I just don't think that it's going to save the studio. I think it's gonna nail in the coffin. I think the Veilguard, the fall off in the Veilguard was really the nail in the coffin for this studio. So I think maybe put BioWare to rest. I hate to say it, but I think put BioWare to rest might be the best option. Listen, from this acquisition, from EA's acquisition, we can guarantee one thing. There's going to be a lot of layoffs. There is going to be plenty of layoffs. And in a year where we've already had so many layoffs that are quote to like what 30,000 at this point, maybe 40,000 layoffs this year in the industry this year alone, it's not surprising. So it'll be interesting to see what direction EA is going to take now with the Saudi acquisition deal. The body is there, the soul is gone. I totally agree, Emerald. The body is there, but the soul is completely gone. So that's kind of the question, man. The body is there, but the soul is gone. And I think you could probably say the same for a lot of studios. How does this affect, BioWare? How does this affect Respawn? How does this affect all these different studios under EA's umbrella? I think what they're going to do is that they're going to more focus on, Saudi is definitely going to more focus on getting new, sticking to what is actually making them money. What is actually making them money? And we all know that it's the sports deals that are making them money. There's a lot. The sports titles are making them money, and now EA's gone private ownership too. It's just interesting. It's interesting to say the least. So, anyway, I think I've exhausted enough. I think I've exhausted, my feelings on this acquisition. It's interesting. I think there's going to be plenty of layoffs coming here, and I think there's going to be a lot of course. There might be some course correction. We're looking at a best case scenario and worst case scenarios here. And also something to keep in mind. The Prince of Saudi Arabia, they own SNK. Just remember, guys, Saudi Arabia owns SNK. And the Prince of Saudi Prince is a huge SNK fan, and the reason why I said that there's might be more best case scenarios because when Saudis bought SNK, the Saudi Prince actually wanted SNK to continue being SNK, continue doing what it's been doing without, keep it away from Western influences. Basically, they want SNK to stay the way it is. And hence why you got, Fatal Fury, City of the Wolves, Kitty, KOF F4, KOF 15. Now they're launching a PC port of Real Bout Fatal Fury 2 with rollback. It's clear that Saudi is likely, they wanted SNK to stay SNK, to not change it for anything. So that's why I'm saying that there might be a best case scenario for EA is that they likely will want to focus on not only the games that will make them money, but maybe even revive dormant IPs and make them much more profitable. Make them profitable at the same time, keep the essence of those games intact. Maybe that might be the case with BioWare. We may ultimately, I don't think we really I don't think we really know though. Also keep in mind, Madden is the only IP that can use the NFL license. They're the only IP that can make a simulation football game with the NFL license, and Madden has been good since 2005. Or, well, I'll be honest, since it's like 2007, 2008. Exactly, But, they do own EA. What about Battlefield? Battlefield would be interesting. Will they, I think they'll probably want to keep Battlefield the way it is. They probably want to keep Battlefield the way it is and keep it more profitable. I could see that. They have SNK. Like I said, they have a 96 stake in SNK, and all they wanted was to let SNK continue to do what it's doing without Western influence. They wanted SNK to stay true to SNK, and I think it's been more of a net positive in a net positive in the end. Yeah, they do have a stake in Nintendo. They do have a stake in Take-Two and Rockstar. I would be interested if PIF has anything to say regarding, what they're kind of, if they're going to have any stake in regards to, GTA 6 and Rockstar in general. Activision Blizzard. They have a stake in a lot of companies, like Tencent does. Nexon as well. They have 5% stake in the First Descendant. Embracer Group, they have a 5% voting power, $1 billion investment. Esports World Cup, Steer Studios, they have a lot. They have a lot of investment. In some ways, they're kind of like Tencent in a way. It's interesting, It is very, very interesting. I could see EA shifting from DEI and ESG stuff back to actually making games great again. I could see that. That could be a best case scenario. It might be a much needed. Cleaning up, a much needed house cleaning to make it so they can focus on making these games profitable, but also making it true to what they are, true to maybe revive dormant IPs, make them profitable, make them, make solid. People want maybe Saudis may understand that people actually do want solid single player offline experiences, because those are money. They can be money makers, and that not to just hitch their wagon so much on live service. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's there. Speak up. Yeah, pretty much. I see a best case scenario. I see a worst case scenario. Well, Call Soup. My fuck, man. Shit, man. I mean, best case scenario. What happens? What happens if it's the Saudi investment? Now, Emerald. Just hear me out. Now, hear me out. What if? This is my dream scenario. This is like a dream scenario to me. Okay, this is just a dream scenario to me. Just hear me out. In an ideal scenario, they would revive dormant IPs. I would usher in a new era of EA Sports Big. I would bring back EA Sports Big. I would bring back their arcade staple. Personally. Okay, I would love to see a new SSX, a new a new less monetized heavy NBA Street and NFL Street, maybe a new Def Jam. I'm just saying, one can dream, okay? One can dream, okay? I'm just saying, I love the, we have a, I have a, there's a special place in my heart for, EA Sports Big. EA Big, It was like the, EA Big was the competitor to Midway's, sports titles, but they freaking killed it with SSX, NBA Street, NFL Street. They were gone too soon. They won't do it. If it doesn't make money, they won't do it. I totally agree. It's just wishful thinking, It's just wishful thinking, in my opinion, I miss that. And what happened to EA Sports? That does make me a good question. How would you bring back EA Sports Big? Yeah, of course, make a new NBA Street, make a new SSX, make a new NFL Street. I would put Def Jam under the EA Big umbrella. I would make a new Fight for New York. Street Legend. I would make a new Fight for New York and put it under the EA Big umbrella. Based off those games, dude, we are seeing. I am truly blessed to see that SSX, a series that I have held dear to my heart, is getting spiritual successors in the forms of Tricky Madness and Hyper Yuki, which I'm like, don't you do this to me, okay? Don't you do this to me. Don't you bring back Hyper Yuki. Oh, I can't believe it. Oh my god. And Acclaim is back from the dead. How crazy that this is under Acclaim. That is crazy, man. They brought back Black. Yeah, but is Skate under? See, I'm check about that. Who is running Skate? Who's developing Skate though? Oh, it's Full Circle. It's Full Circle. So let me see what EA Full Circle does. Full Circle Studios, they are... Yeah, that's the team behind Skate, which I am incredibly unimpressed. I was incredibly unimpressed with Full Circle. Everything I knew about Skate, I was like, yeah, this is gonna be shit. This is gonna be shit. We a couple episodes ago we did a playtest. We did the playtest of Skate, and I was like, yeah, no, that's a no. That's a no. This looks like live service slop. Okay, so we got one more article, guys. We got one more article. And say hello. Oh, I also want to say hello to Awesome One, Lucky Nako, and Elizabeth. Good morning to you guys. Good morning to you guys. Sound off, guys. Vote in the poll if you guys would like. What would you guys like to see for this gaming news roundup, basically? Gaming news roundup, basically. So, anyway, we got one more to go over. Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait. Okay, so Code Mystics horrified that the accusation revealed about Fatal Fury 2 is. Oh, there was AI generated art in Fatal Fury. Oh, snap. Crazy. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Avalanche Studio closes office, lays off staff after Contraband cancellation. Avalanche Studios, this comes from Insider Gaming. Avalanche Studios, the developer behind the recently canceled Contraband, announces its plans to close off its Liverpool office and lay off an unknown number of employees. In a statement posted on the studio's website, Avalanche says that the decision comes after an internal review in light of current challenges to its business and the industry as a whole. This review has led us to a difficult decision that we must make changes to our staffing and locations, the statement reads. As a result, we are proposing to close our Liverpool studio and initiate a collective consultation process required by UK law. This will impact all Avalanchers in Liverpool. The changes will also impact our other studio locations in Malmo and Stockholm, where we will reduce our workforce and restructure the teams to address our game's needs. Insider Gaming has reached out for further clarification on the number of employees that will be impacted by the office closure and layoffs. Should a response be received, it will be added to the story. The news of the layoffs shouldn't come as much surprise. In August, it was announced that the developer stopped on Contraband, a game that was canceled. At the time, Avalanche said it was going to elevate the project's future. With the layoffs, it might be safe to say that the game is officially no more. According to Contraband, Avalanche Studios is best known for the Just Cause series, Rage 2, and The Hunter. What do you make of Avalanche Studios? So yes, Just Cause, yes, that's Steam behind Just Cause. Contraband was their, I guess it was supposed to be like their sim style, like 70s drug, kind of like cartel kind of game that we're going to do next. And the reason I want to bring this up, the reason that I want to bring this up is because guess who worked on Contraband? Guess who worked on Contraband? Sweet Baby Inc. Yes, they worked on sensitivity reading, character bios, and script writing. And that is another, and I repeat, another studio, another game shut down, and another studio that has worked with Sweet Baby Inc. The Sweet Baby curse strikes again, okay? It's I forgot, I think it was Smash, I forgot who pointed this, no, I think it was Hypnotic who pointed this out earlier. It's kind of funny how Sweet Baby Inc., how like all these studios emit layoffs, or they shut down, or game cancellations, and yet Sweet Baby Inc. is still around. Yet they don't emit layoffs, they don't emit cancellations. But Contraband, but yes, Contraband was Avalanche Studios worked closely with Sweet Baby Inc. This was on their website before they scrubbed off of it. Yes, they did sensitivity reading, character script writing. It's the curse. It's a curse. It's the curse. Oh man, it's the curse, baby. It is the curse. It's not surprising, man. Yep. It's the curse. It's the Sweet Baby Inc. curse. Happens again, man. Happens again, man. Don't work with this. Don't work with this. Don't work with these grifters, man. Do not work with these grifting publishers, man. Don't work with them, man. Come on. I mean, it was probably long in development, but come on now. It keeps happening, man. It's just the curse. It's the curse of Sweet Baby. Alright? It's the curse of Sweet Baby Inc. Oh man, now they're trying to get back into the spotlight again, man. It just happened. It just keeps happening. It just keeps happening. Avalanche Studios got my Contraband. Oh no, that's not. Yep. Just caught Stockholm, major blow to Contraband was literally listed on SBI's website for narrative writing. Yep, this is from Master of TDS. Xbox has canceled Contraband, the first party co-op smuggling game from Avalanche Studios. Announced in 2021, it never showed gameplay and quietly disappeared. Now it's officially gone. The same year, Sweet Baby Inc. proudly announced their involvement right after the E3 reveal. And what now? I remember we saw this back during the Xbox Game Showcase last year, and all they had was like this CG teaser, nothing else. So I don't know, man. It's a point of no return, man. It's another point of no return, man. It's just, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you. You in bed with Sweet Baby, man. You in bed with Sweet Baby. Now there's another, apparently there's a cozy indie title. There's like a cozy mouse title that has been banning players for bringing up their affiliation with Sweet Baby Inc. I saw this last week, and that's crazy. It is absolutely crazy. So I just find it hilarious, man. I just find it hilarious. So I just find it hilarious. So. Riot Kitty says, another GTA commander busts dust, Sleep Baby Stink, not surprised, release garbage, get closed down, duh, of course, it's backed by the powers that be. These people, it's an ESG-backed company. Finally, Destiny 2 streamer said that last night when he visited Bungie Studios, they didn't want to critique, and Bungie was in the bubble that refused any criticism. Games take years and so much money to take, so we're gonna at least need 4 year garbage before we see a shift. Oh, man. I'm looking at Awesome One's comment. It says something about Bungie, basically. Content creators at Bungie stopped listening to... Oh, Bungie stopped listening to them. When Bungie listened to content creators, we got the best DLC ever made. Yeah. This might be the most laughable. Yeah. It's just... Bungie is... And shout out to Haley, obviously. Thank you. Shout out to Bungie. Yeah, these remakes, man, it's just crazy. Yep. Oh my god. It's just, it keeps happening, man. It keeps happening. It keeps happening with Bungie, man. I don't know what to tell you. Bungie plays the same thing. If you're going to throw his countdown, take breath. One side's fans that. Yeah, Bungie has been struggling, and I'm hearing that people are liking Destiny Rising more than they do the console ports of Destiny 1 and 2, though. That's interesting. Or Destiny 2. People are liking Destiny Rising more than they do Destiny 2. Who joins Bungie? Destiny 2 Renegades. Yeah. It's interesting. Happy 2-year anniversary of the... It's the 2-year anniversary. Oh, it's the 2-year anniversary. Oh my god, I forgot about this. This was a Bungie L. This is how you embarrass yourself online. Being Latin AEIOX is more than just a location on the map, just as being Hispanic is more than a language we might speak. Proud to introduce our new idea, Latin at Bungie. I can't believe it's been 2 years. I can't believe it's been 2 years. Oh, when Bungie did that. Oh, they got ripped to shreds, baby. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, okay. Okay, I need to laugh. Okay, so today is launch day for Ghost of Yotei, by the way. So we'll probably be seeing more reviews coming out like today and such like that. So it'll be very interesting. It'll be very interesting to see Ghost of Yotei, see how that handles and see how the sales turns out. Good, while into Ghost of Yotei is very much more of the same, which is not a bad thing. Not really vibing with the story. It's just a simple revenge tale. Oh, okay. Ghost of Yotei looks beautiful. Ghost of Yotei, The Way Baby. In the first few hours, visually stunning. With ray tracing, it's not all disappointing. Okay. Gamepass ROM. Yeah, Ghost of Yotei is going to do good. It's going to do good. I think it's going to do fine. Sales-wise. But people are curious on the story and characters, though. It's very curious on the story and characters. The game looks gorgeous. The game looks gorgeous, though. Not gonna lie. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. But people are interested in the, definitely in the story and the character department. See how that hands off. Ghost of Yotei's top 3 intro alone. Okay, so fairly positive. Was gonna watch Asmongold, Ace of Shadows. Ghost of Yotei 11 hours ago. Happy Ghost of Yotei release day. Watch the Ghost of Yotei play. People are excited. People are definitely excited. You got a method. Xbox Ghost of Yotei. Topic Ghost of Yotei tomorrow. Okay. Ghost of Yotei. Nixie, same way. Well, there you go. 6 month UK Game Pass. CD keys and Ghost of Yotei. Yeah. So it is Vampire the Masquerade. That's right. Arc Raiders. Arc Raiders is also public as well. Give me the honor of your nominations. Interesting. Okay. So some general positivity there. Yeah, I think it looks way better than Battlefield. AC Shadows. But yeah, today is launch day for Ghost of Yotei, so I think it'll be fine. I think game-wise it'll be fine. And I think it'll be fine. It's already got rave reviews and such like that. I just, but for me, just everything that's been going on behind the scenes, just not my thing. not interested. So it'll do well. Of course it will. It will definitely do well. So, man, want to so we just got all through we just went through all through the news roundup. So I want to ask you guys the final question. How do you guys feel about doing the by the way, like new transition, guys, by like new transitions here. No, how do you guys feel about doing these gaming news roundup, doing a news roundup segment for Peak Gaming? Now, looking at the user, I wonder if he's going on well with the Arab money. Yeah, I know, right? Or I spent money on Warhammer 40k minus gaming industry. This one's with my attitude. Thoughts? So I put up a poll, guys. So you guys, 46% voted that they do like the gaming news roundup segment of Peak Gaming and put that into a midweek stream. 50% says they like to have it on a Friday stream. 31% says they would like to have Peak Gaming integrated, the news segments integrated back into Peak Gaming and not separate off. And 8% said no more gaming news segments. But it seems that you guys like us splitting off the gaming news segments into a separate stream. And it seems that you guys are voting to have it set during the week, maybe as a midweek show. I could do that. It can be a replacement of Machiny in the morning, because that would definitely Machiny in the morning. I'm not gonna call it woke gaming. It would just be gaming news. It would just be focused on just the gaming news segment under the Machiny Draws Presents Peak Gaming umbrella. No more gaming this, but yeah, you guys seem to like this splitting off, and this is part of me making some sweeping changes though. Making some changes to for more of a balanced kind of shows moving forward. So that means Saturday we're just gonna focus on the game. We're just gonna focus on gaming with no news segments whatsoever. Saturday we're just gonna focus on gaming. So, I still got about another 45 minutes. Let's do. Okay, thanks for being here, Riot. Let's do. I got about another 45 minutes left. So let's do. I'm gonna put a poll. I'm gonna end the poll. So I'm gonna put a new poll from you guys. Thank you guys so much. Take all this in. So let's do last hour. So we could do. Oh no, not yet. Chair reactions. Modded SB. Let's do Sonic. Oh. There's a Crossworld demo. Or we can do Tomb Raider. We could probably do Tomb Raider. Or Tomb Raider. We could probably do. Let's do. Let's do. Okay. Okay. Okay, so I got about 45 minutes or so. So I'm going to leave it up to you guys. What would you guys like? We could do some trailer reactions. We can do some Mod Stellar Blade. We can do the demo to Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Or we could continue our playthrough of Tomb Raider 2013. I'm going to leave it up to you guys. The reason why I'm doing this Thursday stream is because I have jury duty today. And I'm supposed to be... and I actually got to call up the court again. I'm actually supposed to call up the court at around 11 o'clock, so probably got about another hour. So I figured, hey, the entire morning to myself, we'll just cover the news segments. But it seems that you guys really do like the gaming news segment split off into its own separate stream. So leave it up to you guys. Wow. Yeah, so yeah. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm still here. So, but I'm going to leave it up to you guys. We can react to some trailers. I got some trailers I can line up to. I got trailers lined up. Some games that I thought would be very interesting. I thought would be worth looking into. Especially on the channel. Modded Stellar Blade. Especially now that they have the new epilogues added in the recent update. We have... oh my god, we're gonna call that. I'm not gonna do that tomorrow. We can do. Anyways, Watson. We can do trailer reactions. Sonic Racing Crossworlds demo, because I haven't tried that yet. Or we could continue our playthrough of Tomb Raider 2013, and I think probably about later I'll have everything set up. I'll probably put another poll asking what would you guys like on Saturday's episode 26. So, but it seems that we have a lot to talk about tomorrow, by the way. We have a lot to talk about on Marketing in the Morning tomorrow, so I'm going to look. Game Pass made more expensive, of course. Comic Street, Jim Con updates. Is it, what the hell? Okay. That's interesting. Snowbreak. Yep, Ghost of Yotei is out. Ghost of Yotei is out. Hassan is terrified knowing that Asmongold has completely returned. Lethal is going to be in the Xbox Game Pass. Yeah, they just screwed about. So yeah, I'm gonna let you guys vote. What would you guys like to see? Because I really want to know. Really would like to know. I'd like to know. We got like 45 minutes. Oh, there's a almost sense. You know what? Why not? Why not? Take a. In the meantime, I'm gonna let you guys vote. In the meantime, I want to take a look at this. So, this is from Gamer's Little Playground. It's up to them for a long time. I want to share this. This is actually the armor sets in Ghost of Yotei. So we'll go switch over to the main screen. So let you guys decide. Because we got one vote for we got one vote for trailer reactions, one vote for Sonic Racing Crossworlds, or one vote for Tomb Raider. So cast your votes, guys. I want to see. I just want to see the armor sets in Ghost of Yotei. So interesting. Standard. You got this standard armor set. People say they like the mask. I do too. I like the mask and the hat. What's in the hat? Looks, it'll probably be on PC eventually. There's probably a little more capes. Okay, that's interesting. It's very interesting. I like the flowing cape. Like I said, the game looks gorgeous. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. The game looks absolutely gorgeous. Okay, so it's probably their different variants with, you know, more armor and such like that. And I assume this is the default outfit for Atsu and Ghost of Yotei. So this is the Onyo armor. Oh. Different variations. So they add... some more items are added through each... more items are added through each section. That's interesting. Okay. Bounty Master Arrow Armor. Okay. I'm not a fan of Erika Ishii. I'm not a fan of Erika Ishii personally. But pace wise, it's like it's just meh. It's just It's not. I don't go far as ugly or anything. It's just meh. The body is very fitting of feudal Japan. They clearly put a lot of work into it. I can see it doing well. Oh yeah, it's gonna do very well. But cast your votes, guys. Cast your votes. I'm still cast your votes, please. That's interesting. The armor sets I like. I'm liking the armor set so far, especially like the ones with I guess like the fully like finalized versions of each armor set. Because I notice it's like it's starting off with a base armor set and then it just kind of like builds up over time. Or it just kind of builds up. It has multiple variations. Kind of like that one. And do like the added straw cape. That's very interesting. Very interesting. Added straw cape. It's a lot more. It's fitting. It's very fitting for a certain aesthetic. I'll say it's fitting. Like I said, like I said, my opinion is I do think that it would have been. I do think that it's going to come down to how are people going to feel about. How are good people going to feel about the story and characters, Is it, was it a good idea to not continue Jin Sakai's story in Tsushima and go this direction? It'll be, I will be very interested in the reviews and such like that, specifically on the story. Because from what I've been hearing, it is just the more standard revenge story. That apparently there's a lot of it in, and you see that in a lot of Sony first-party exclusives, too, so... You guys have not followed me. It's not traditional. Fully upgraded. I like that armor. I do, too. It's the traditional-wise, I think it fits. I think everything works. I think it works for what it's intended. It's just that, like I said, I never played Tsushima, so it's probably one thing that's probably keeping me away. And just the drama behind the scenes, just all that drama behind the scenes, just not my, just it's turned me off of Sucker Punch in general, and it's a shame because like there's a lot of goodwill here. There clearly is a lot of goodwill, and there's a lot of love here going on. It's just we'll see how it turns out. But, so, you guys are still at a stalemate. Though. I'm noticing. You guys are still at a stalemate. We're just gonna... Or am I gonna have to pick in the last 3 minutes? I might have to end up picking. I don't know. I might have to decide. We might have to decide at the very end. Where's the Antifa thing? And I'm Antifa, so is my wife. Like, yeah, you do realize that Trump just signed. You do realize that the Orange Man just made Antifa a designated terrorist organization. Which, let's be honest here, they are, and they're having a whole scuffle in Portland, which I've been keeping a close eye on. And yeah, it's crazy. It's the whole thing is absolutely crazy. So, and not only that. Antifa is like worldwide. It's a global organization. It's not a movement. It's an organization. Especially with how they do much worse crimes in how Antifa does much worse crimes in like Germany and other European countries too. So I would love a new Samurai Champloo game. Apparently there's like a lo-fi mode made by the composer for Samurai Champloo, or a series director for Samurai Champloo 2. I think less time to go, yeah. Is it Army of that? You know what? I like that one. I like this one. Not the helmet. Without the helmet, though. I like this one. Just not the... Where's the blue hair except the beard face? Not a fan of the helmet, though. I'm not into the helmet, but I do like the black and white aesthetic, though. I do like that black and white aesthetic. The red cape is a good. The red cape is a good contrast too. The red cape is a pretty good contrast, in my opinion. Just, I would take the helmet off. It's, oh. Very, very interesting helmet designs. Crimson Condor. Okay. I like the color of the... Yeah, I like the color of the outfit, too. I like the colors. I just... I don't know, man. Revealed to have been within the Canadian military as a pastor founded the team. They were investigating a man that related a church with a smoke bomb. Jesus Christ. Yep, there you go. Ghosts of Antifa. Oh, man. You can't like separate the art from the artist, man. Some cases you simply can't separate the art from the artist, and for me personally, this is one of those cases where you do have to, or I can't separate the art from the artist. I like the arm pads of that one. I think it's like she has much more of a Ronin vibe without the helmet to me. Like it's just me. She has much more of a Ronin vibe like without the helmet. In my humble opinion. Athletic, I know. Feudal Japan. I understand feudal Japan and all this stuff, but she ain't got much. Not much. Not much underneath. Yeesh. Ooh, that is definitely anti-peak. I will say that is anti-peak in my humble opinion. Yeah, you know what? Keep the armor on. Keep the armor sets on. I mean, most Japanese rank up. I understand that. I'm just saying. Like, yeah, now I'm good. Yeah, no, I'm good. Like, I'm good. Yeah. Should've kept that one. Yeah, but that's it. That's cool. So that's the armor sets to go to Yotei. What are you guys picking? What are we picking, guys? What are we picking, guys? Come on. I need some. What are we guys voting on, guys? Trail reactions, Mod Stellar Blade, Sonic Racing Crossworlds demo, or we play some Tomb Raider? Modded Tomb Raider, I mean. Let's make it happen. I want to hear from you guys. If not, then I'm gonna have to decide on myself. I'm just gonna have to decide. So cast your votes, guys. Come on. Yeah, everybody's talking about Xbox Game Pass. It's like freaking drop the balls on there. Jason Collider Rider. I am.
Jason Collider Rider is a game I've
You guys want the... Okay, so we're getting some more votes on the Sonic Racing. Okay, you guys want the Crossworlds demo. Okay. I want to do some crazy... Don't pick anything else. He's gonna pick Snowbreak again. Shut up, Sean. Oh, no. We're getting more votes. We're getting more votes, baby! We're getting more votes, baby, for the Sonic Racing Crossworlds. Okay, fine. It shall be done. Native support, yeah. Steam input pimps. Okay, we can do that. Can we get to it? Okay, can we get to it? Okay, where is the demo? Where's the demo? Okay, let's see what we got. Yes, next. While driving, accelerate, shoot. Okay. Okay. Okay, you guys have voted. Seems you guys voted. You guys want the Crossworlds demo. Let's see what we got! Okay. Okay, let's go to the main screen. Let's see what we got. Let's see what we got. I haven't tried this out, so this is my first experience, guys. This is going to be my first experience. Man, it runs slow. Okay. Sonic Team. Okay. That was pretty slow, in my opinion. Okay. Cryware is still around. Okay. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this game. I've heard nothing but amazing things about this game. It's that true competitor to Mario Kart World. The Simac is interesting, to say the least. No, we're not touching AC. No, I'm done. Dude, I'm done, Sean. It's over. Oh, actually, well, it's I heard it's an excellent kart racer compared to Mario Kart World. Like, it's that. It does seem fun, not gonna lie. Yeah, it does. It does. Crazy. That's crazy. Okay. Okay, let's try it out. Let's try it out. Yes. Two boys gain speed to get a competition. Charge your starting gauge. Okay. Oh, it's got like a Need for Speed style starting gauge. You hit the right optimal RPM and it's gonna take off, and you get a boost start. Okay. So it's got a boost start. Okay. Left and hold the shoulder button to drift. Okay. Okay, hold the left shoulder button to drift. The longer you hold the drift, the faster you hold your boost. Sega releasing game. I'm Sonic Riders, yeah. Okay. And let go. Okay. Go faster by using items. So that's your left shoulder button's gonna be your item use. Okay. Do tricks while mid-air, get a boost upon landing. You just use the, I guess you just use the shoulder button. I guess you just use the analog stick to do that. Okay. Okay, so there's that rider's influence. You can move vertically while in flight. Nice. Okay. Be careful not to fly too low. So yeah, taking elements from Sonic Racing All-Stars Transformed, which is another great kart racer, by the way. Boost can charge while going straight forward. Boats can charge boost while going straight forward. You'll jump higher and gain more speed the longer it's charged, so you gotta hold it down. Okay. Yes, this is live. Master all the tools in arsenal, aim for the top. Okay, let's try it. I guess we'll try it that way. Down to pause, let's get right to it. Grand Prix will never Grand Prix total most of the runs. Round races, there are 7 Grand Prix in all of them. Some races will show up as your rivals. Yeah, they has a rival system, which I thought was interesting. And you unlock Supersonic if you manage to win against all your rivals. Okay. And you only have the choice between 4. All right, let's choose the Blue Blur himself. Ah. So you can modify. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. That's cool. And like all the parts are like customizable. Like it has a really good customization. That's what I heard. This game is really, really good customization. So there's like really good customization. Oh, that's nice. That's sick. That's sick. All right. Well, let's try it out. Let's just do high speed. It's recommended for everyone. Rain is your rival. Okay. Oh, so you have loadouts. So it's almost like Blur. You have loadouts. A steering assist. Oh no, we're gonna turn that off. Let's do double boost specialist. Okay. Oh, so you have loadouts. So it's like Blur. Okay. Lean racer. So the way the races are done is that at the laps change. The laps change each. The world changes each lap. So whoever's in the lead actually directs where the next world we go to for the second lap, which I think is pretty damn cool, though. I like that mechanic.
Hey, Sonic. I'll turn back and wave to you as I cross the finish line.
Big talk. Let's see you back it up.
All right, here we go. So Amy's my rival. Gain speed by using air tricks and drifting on curves. Okay. Oh, is this your show? Oh, I can't. Can I? I need to remap the buttons. I need to remap the buttons. I can't do I can't have the A button be my accelerator. I just can't. I don't have. Yes. Break. Review. So I use L1, R1's to drift. Gadget is fine. Okay. No, I got what was it? I think what was it? It's like I think I have carpal tunnel. Trying to use the I think I have carpal tunnel syndrome. Trying to use I can't use the A button as my accelerator in racing games anymore. I prefer triggers. Oh, that's cool. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, I can't. Okay, let's try this. Okay. I prefer using the triggers, basically. Yeah, I can't use the A button for my as my accelerator anymore. I can't do that anymore. I could understand it's a kart racer. That doesn't work for me. Whenever I play anything on the PS2 emulator, I have to remap the buttons. Much better. Okay. Yeah, so there's that Sonic Riders elements, which I'm digging. Oh, it took out Knuckles. Okay. Come on, come on. Oh, they selected. Amy selected a random track. Okay. Jet, get your ass out of here. Come on. I wonder if you can discard weapons, though. Ah, no! Dark Child, why? Why don't you do that to me? Bitch, I know you ain't doing that. Ow! Okay, final lap. Come on. There we go. I'm a second. Where's that bitch? No! Come on, come on, come on! Yeah! Bye, bitch! I got Amy! I got Amy before... Bowman Ross this week. Hey, Mario Kart. Mario Kart this new. You know this Sonic Racing game is better than you're gonna see. I know, right? Oh, that was fun. That was fun. That was fun. I think it takes some time to get the hang of, though. Purchase Dumpa tickets to purchase machine parts and decals. I heard it's a grind fest to get these tickets too. So nice clutch, yeah. I took Amy out. I took Amy out before she crossed the finish line. I was like, gotcha, bitch. Gotcha, bitch. Comedy clutch, baby. Alright, Rainbow Garden. Ooh. It feels like it feels less like a kart racer and more like a traditional Sega arcade racer. Like in the style of like Daytona USA, Outrun, Sega Super GT. I like that though. Might as well have fun. The air controls... I happy, baby. Come on. Okay, so you gotta be clean too. So if you
Nice one, Sonic.
oh, I get to pick. Okay, let's go here. Sky Road. Okay. All right, what do we got? Oh, it's a no. Ah! I heard King Boom. So King Boom Boo is like the blue shell. Okay. Oh, that's crazy. Back off, Amy. Bitch. How dare you throw slime at me? Hell yeah. We got wave. Alright, final lap. Come on. Ow! Jesus Christ. Nice. Slide to the finish line. There we go. Yeah, the drifting does look smooth. The drifting definitely does look smooth. Bye, bitch. Fish had to aim me again. I got like 4 of those red rings too. This is fun. This is fun. Not bad. I'm not gonna lie. This is fun. It's fun. It's definitely fun. Station Bell special team. He'll shoot out your tap. Bro, that's gangster. That's gangster, man. That's straight up gangster right there. Water Palace. And I like that they take worlds from like different Sonic games too. I think that's pretty cool. Ooh. In water form, reuse and charge activate jumps to give you burst of speed. Okay. Drifting is smooth. You gotta be very, like... Come on! There we go. I think I'm getting the hang of it. I think I'm getting the hang of it. Oh, that bomb that bomb picks up. Okay. Let's do a random. Okay, let's do a random. Alright. We got whoa. Like a volcano world, okay. You can plane drift. I like that. Come on. Careful. No, 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 no! Ah! You bitch, you bitch, you bitch. Okay, final lap. Bring it home. Oh, is that? Oh, that's Omo Chow. Okay. Thank you. There we go. Who just shot at me? You son of a bitch. Who just shot at me? No! Come on. Oh, no, 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 no. Turn, turn, turn! Turn, you hedgehog, bitch! No! No! You bastard. You bastard. We get second. Come on. Get past Vector. Get past Vector. Gotcha! Got second. Oh! Actual racing where first place isn't a death sentence. Freaking Blaze, man. Blaze, just like every other thing. Okay, I still won, though. Still won, though. I'm still on the top. I'm still at the top. This is fun. This is fun. I ain't gonna lie. This is fun. I just want to know how to change the... How do you change the camera angle, though? I just know how to change the camera angle. Because I feel like I'm getting a sense of speed. I just like feel like there needs to be more. Late sense of speed. Oh, Grand Prix final. Completing the Grand Prix final will race through all 3 courses. Oh, you're going to be racing through all 3 in one single lap. Okay. So you're going to be racing through all 3 courses in one single lap. Okay. A lap. Okay. I can tell you're gonna buy. You know what? I'm getting there. I'm getting. You're kind of pushing close to me there. I'm not invited. This is addicting. This is fun. This is fun. Hi. Also come from it also comes from the fact that I did play the hell out of both Sonic Riders and Zero Gravity growing up too, so that comes from that too. Come on, Chow. Come on. Give me something. Give me something. Give me something. You. Okay, next world. I'm just gonna steal first place from me there. I'm just gonna steal first place from you. Okay, get that West, baby, get that West, baby, get that West, baby. Come on, come on. No, it ain't! Okay, final lap. Oh, bitch, you mine. What claim was mine? Got your ass. I happened. Come on, come on. Booyah! There we go, there we go, there we go. There we go. I can tell you, but I'm tempted, man. I'm tempted. It's fun. It's fun. I ain't gonna lie. It's fun. Having a blast with this one, man. I can tell. I can tell why it's very addictive. It really is. Nah, you just make yourself look bad. Anyway. Man, can he swear in a cartoon code? Oh my god! You know what? You gotta think it will be okay. Time to reveal a new mechanic. Gadget plates. 8 gadget plates use effect during races. Okay. So it really has loadouts. That's pretty cool. So there are loadouts. That's cool. That's what I see you guys can also change here. Oh, that's cool. Oh, you can do time trial. Recommended for multiplayer. Oh my god, how many characters we got? Jesus. It's crazy. Let's go. It's crazy. It's crazy. It's like different, Get a personal best on each course. Get ready to get higher on the channel's top circle racers. Get smart to visible and not valid effects. Okay. So we try that. Why not? Challenge world wrinkle. What's on guys? Let's just mess with that a little. Mess with that a little bit. I'll be in that mode too. Because the characters are back when we get the game shows on Netflix. It's funny about it. Yeah, I mean, you guys found that out now. I mean, it's interesting. We might cover that tomorrow. We might cover that on Machina in the morning tomorrow. We might cover that. Keep forgetting this game has brakes, man. Use brakes. See, it really does feel like a Sega arcade racer, man. It has the colorfulness of a Sega arcade racer, of like a Daytona USA or like a Sega Rally. It's addictive, I'm not gonna lie. It is addictive, not gonna lie. And the fact that they brought the extreme gear from Sonic Riders as a mechanic of selectable vehicles is really nice touch. about Coast to Coast? Outrun too, yeah. Outrun, yeah. It's bringing a lot of those arcade racers back. It feels, that's why it feels more like an arcade racer than a Mario Kart competitor, and I mean that in a good way. That's actually, I mean that in a really good way. It's actually. What's this? Whoa! Crowds on their feet, crowds on their feet. Kind of feels like I'm at Thunderhead. Plus, anybody recognize that reference? Thunderhead. It's a B. It's a B. You gotta go for next rank. You gotta go A rank, 230 flat. Okay. Yeah, that's like I said. There's a lot of apparently there's a lot of what's the console war with DNC Portrait? Because it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Okay, so these are approved. So this is what you only get best. Okay, we'll do one more. We'll do one more. We'll mess around with the character. That's crazy. That is so crazy. It's crazy. There's like the customization is like really deep too. Okay, we'll mess with one more track. Okay. What sake of such an NC4 Dreamcast? I know, right? It's just, it's really. I'm enjoying this. I'm not gonna lie. I'm enjoying the hell out of this. This definitely feels like it's gonna be a time sinker. Like you're gonna be sinking so much time into this, doing like all the grinding and shit like that. The Boom Bang Race Night, you know. Needless to say, yeah, this is peak. I would say this is borderline peak for me here. Like, this is borderline peak because I'm having so much fun playing this right now. Oh, sorry, I forgot I had that. Whoa. Here we go, here we go, there we go, there we go. Come on! There we go, there we go, there we go! Okay. Come on! There we go, there we go, there we go. So you collect ring. So rings increase your speed, overall top speed. Okay. There we go. So you gotta collect those rings because it's gonna give you those. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on. Come on, Amy. Come on. There we go. It's fun, man. It's fun. For the next rank, just like, I gotta get V rank. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy. All right, I need to switch out. Oh, gadget plate left up. Oh, nice. New slots. Okay. New slots. It's. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. I'm enjoying the shit out of this. I'm enjoying the shit out of this. I ain't gonna lie. I ain't gonna lie. See, we're gonna do. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more. I'm gonna do one more. Okay, so you can do. So you do custom builds. Okay, so you got the. You can switch between customization items. I wonder if you have presets so you can make custom builds, which is pretty cool. This is crazy. Every single part of the machine is customizable, which I like. Every part of the machine is customizable, so you can make your truly own. Make your build your own. Make your sets your own. I really, really like that. It's crazy. And it's split between 3 class types, basically. Speed, handling, power, then you have the extreme gears as well. You got custom slots. That's tight. That's tight. That is tight. I always like how the sleek. I like the sleekness. I like the sleekness of the speed class vehicles. I like the sleek. I like how sleek they look. That's crazy. The future WoW GT, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, that's crazy, bro. This play. Bro, that's tight. That's tight. This is tight. I ain't gonna lie, this shit's tight. Like, you can tell, like, they've really put, like, time on the parameter. They've really, like, put, like, time to parameters, too. You can tell they really did put a time into, like, setting up, like, parameters and everything. Custom input. Oh, there's no camera option, is there? Okay. Never mind. Okay, I thought there was a camera option. Okay, never mind. Never mind. Clear challenges help challenge path to earn rewards. Yeah, a lot of love was put into this. I could tell a lot of effort was put into this. A lot of effort was put into this shit, dude. That's crazy. Says the crack. One more says crack egg. I know, right? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna wrap this up. I'm gonna wrap this up, man. That is, bro. That's tight. I ain't gonna lie. That shit is tight, man. This is so. That was the demo for Sonic Racing Crossworlds. I could see myself get addicted to that real quick, easily. Easily. Oh man. Okay, so we've established that. Yeah, they've been taking W's. Yes, they have. So we've established that you guys would like a dedicated segment of Peak Gaming focused solely on gaming news segments. You guys have voted to have it be a midweek show, so we'll start doing that next week. We'll start doing a midweek Peak Gaming news segment. It'll be every Wednesday morning in replacement of Machini in the morning. Peak Gaming on Saturdays now. The main show will now be focused on just gaming itself. Speaking of which, I'll put up a poll later today asking what would you guys like for a Saturday show, and then I'll have everything set up. Thank you guys so much. You guys are freaking amazing. Smack that like button, make it jiggle. Smack the subscribe button, make it jiggle. All that good stuff. I probably want to set up a separate. Maybe nah. I think we'll keep everything as it is. We'll keep everything as it is. I think this is a good start. I think it's a good start. Me covering the gaming news segments and all that good stuff, and then doing all that good stuff. Plenty of stuff to look forward to as well. Thank you all for just, you know, we're trying to get to 4K. That's the focus. We're trying to get to 4K before the end of the year. So any little bit helps. So share it out. Smack that like button. Smack the subscribe button if you guys want to see more Peak Gaming content. You guys have been absolutely amazing. I think y'all hang out with me this morning. So anyway, I'm going to get out of here. I'm Maki90, our streaming illustrator. Thank you for tuning in to the first of the Peak Gaming news segments here. First of the news roundup here on Peak Gaming. Until then, stay cute, stay sexy, have fun, take care, much love. Never apologize for wanting attractive women in your media, especially in video games. Say no to censorship. Be kind and excellent to each other. All that good stuff. And above all else, never stop drawing. Have a great rest of your Wednesday, guys. I'll see y'all later. Until then, love y'all. And game over.
Your journey is at an end. But fear not. I hope that we get to see each other once again. Thank you for playing in our world. But we must return you back to your world. Thank you for tuning in to Maki Draws Presents Peak Gaming. And until next time, game over. Is produced by Maki Draws Productions in association with Special Stage Entertainment and is distributed by CSF Nation Domestic Television Distribution.